It's 8 p.m. and here are our top stories in 90 seconds.
Brake checking, cutting each other off, flipping each other the bird, right? These are all things that may feel good in the moment, but can lead to bigger things like this.
Road rage in Colorado ends with a person being shot, and the gunman calling 911 to turn himself in.
When are we going to come to grips with this? When are we going to put down our arms literally and figuratively?
Yet another mass shooting in America. This time, 8 people shot and killed at a transit center in California.
It just feels like this happens over and over and over again. Rinse and repeat.
Denver Public Schools has a new superintendent in charge.
1 year of leading a district during a pandemic equates to a decade of being a superintendent in my book.
And those who were calling for a new search weeks ago say now it is time for unity.
He knows what he has to do. He has to listen. He has said that was his primary focus, was to listen.
Plus, Denver has a plan for its first safe parking site for people experiencing homelessness.
We have put so much time and effort, and the city seems to be pretty positive on this.
But for neighbors in the area, they're not too thrilled on the location. And Ball Arena is raising capacity again to get more people inside, cheering on the Nuggets and Avs through the playoffs. Good Wednesday evening, and thank you for watching Denver7 News on Local 3. I'm Jessica Porter. Still no arrests have been made after a case of road rage led to a man being shot and critically injured on I-225 near Parker Road this afternoon. This is video from Air Tracker 7 flying overhead. Police say the suspected shooter eventually pulled over and called police. At last check, he was in custody, but no arrest has been made.
It's never worth it. Brake checking, cutting each other off, flipping each other the bird, right? These are all things that may feel good in the moment, but can lead to bigger things like this, that someone gets hurt, injured, shot, whatever it may be. These are things that we want to avoid and we don't want ever to happen.
The man injured is expected to survive. As of earlier this evening, police were still interviewing the suspected shooter and victim. A mass shooting at a light rail yard in San Jose, California is being treated as a case of workplace violence. ABC News cites multiple sources who say the suspect had multiple weapons and killed 8 people, including several co-workers. Within the past 5 minutes, Governor Polis ordered flags fly at half staff in Colorado. ABC's Morgan Norwood has the latest from California.
Tonight, another mass shooting in America. The latest tragedy happening at a transit center in San Jose, California.
When are we going to come to grips with this? When are we going to put down our arms literally and figuratively? Our politics, stale rhetoric, finger pointing, all a hand-wringing consternation that produces nothing except more fury and frustration.
Authorities saying an employee, Samuel Cassidy, stormed into the Santa Clara Valley Transit rail yard, killing 8 of his VTA colleagues.
Shooter is on the 3rd floor. Still another active shot heard.
Law enforcement now concerned about possible explosives at the shooting location.
We received information that there are explosive devices that are located inside the building. That being said, we activated our bomb squad, which is currently out on scene.
Officials also announcing a possible second location, the scene of a fire that may be related to this deadly attack.
It is a fairly sizable crime scene and is going to take a while to process. So I would ask everybody's patience.
The shooting reported early Wednesday morning at the VTA hub and maintenance yard where trains are stored. A caller telling 911 they heard multiple gunshots.
We'll get 3 more Code 3 ambulances, and looks like, again, shots are still being fired.
Okay. The gunman was also killed. Family members desperate to contact their loved ones.
I haven't heard from him. I'm just trying to get a response and get some more information.
Authorities are still working to reunite survivors with their loved ones. The Santa Clara County supervisor is ordering flags to be flown at half staff in remembrance of the victims. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Morgan, thank you. Denver Public Schools will hire Dr. Alex Marrero as its next superintendent. Marrero comes to Denver by way of New Rochelle, New York, where he was assistant superintendent. DPS was looking for someone who understands the challenges that come with the district's diverse student population. Marrero says he can sympathize. While growing up, he says he was an outsider and spoke a different language at home.
I didn't think I was worthy to be an assistant principal, right? So we all have that self-doubt, all right? So I'm waiting for someone to come out the rafters and say, hey, You fooled enough folks, all right? But that goes to the complex that I have, because that was that student who was not supposed to make it. So I struggle with that to this day.
The Denver Teachers Union has given its approval to Marrero's hiring. He was chosen from a pool of 85 applicants. And Trujillo had a chance to talk to the leader of the Colorado Black Roundtable, John Bailey, who was one of the voices calling for a new search just weeks ago. Today, he said, is the time for unity.
The adults in the room, those of us who are partners, should get behind the board and the new superintendent and help lift up the new superintendent and move the district in a direction that it needs to be going.
So what advice do you have for this new superintendent?
He knows what he has to do. He has to listen. He has said that was his primary focus, was to listen.
Bailey says even though he has concerns about the way the search went down, he is prepared to stand behind Dr. Marrero to help build a better district for the sake of our kids. A designated safe space for people sleeping in their cars could soon be coming to Denver, but some neighbors aren't too happy about its location. Denver7's Patrick Perez joins us live from First Universalist Church in Denver with their new plan. Patrick.
Hey Jessica, if everything goes according to plan, this church parking lot here in Hampton and Ash will be home to 8 cars each night come July. Now the church says this is a great location because it's so isolated, but some of the neighbors we spoke with off camera say they're concerned about this because of the playground that's right there and the back of their homes right there.
This empty church parking lot could soon become a temporary and safe home for a lucky few.
One car would be there, we'd leave 2 spaces, the next car would be here, and so forth.
Linda Baggas is the co-chair of the First Universalist Church of Denver's Homelessness Task Force. She and her staff have been working hard these past few months to turn this lot into a safe space for homeless car owners. 2
adults per car, but in most of the sites, most people are 1 person per car.
The program, in collaboration with the Colorado Safe Parking Initiative, would allow 8 approved cars to park here from 6 p.m. to 8 a.m. Each passenger would be heavily vetted and their criminal background checked.
They're people just like us who had some misfortunes and didn't have a backup system and money in the bank to bail them out.
They would get dinner and have access to a porta potty, trash cans, and hand sanitizing stations. This soon-to-be vegetable garden will also be theirs to enjoy.
We have put so much time and effort, and the city seems to be pretty positive on this.
But not everyone is on board. Several neighbors Denver7 spoke with off camera say they don't like that it's right next to this playground or the back of their homes.
You're a homeowner, you have children, you have a right to be fearful about your safety, especially in today's society.
Rochelle Brogan, co-founder of the Colorado Safe Parking Initiative, understands their concerns, but she feels they come from a lack of education about homelessness.
They look out for each other and they're not interested in causing trouble. They're not chronic drug users.
Her organization has helped open these safe parking locations in Longmont, Boulder, Arvada, Broomfield, and Golden. The need is clearly there.
We've been getting over 5 inquiries a day. 5 a day.
She says people who are going through rough times just want somewhere safe to park and sleep overnight and avoid getting robbed, ticketed, or towed.
It becomes really problematic, and the people end up falling further and further into homelessness.
She just hopes the neighbors will be a little more understanding.
The church tells me it plans to submit its permit application come mid-June once it gets more feedback from neighbors to make any changes to their plan. And again, only people who have applied and have been approved will be allowed to stay here come July if the city approves that permit. For now, we're live in Southeast Denver. I'm Patrick Perez, Denver7.
Patrick, thank you. The city of Denver has plans to move a safe outdoor space to Park Hill United Methodist Church next month, but some residents are trying to block the camp through a lawsuit. The lawsuit was dismissed, but the group is moving forward with trying to appeal the permit. There are also plans for a new space at Regis University next month. The Avs and Nuggets will have an even bigger home advantage. Ball Arena is now allowed to host 10,000 fans. Capacity was previously capped at 7,500. The Avs are off tonight, taking a break from all that winning. The Nuggets are in Portland preparing for Game 3 tomorrow. And the Broncos are one of the only 2 teams in the NFL to not receive approval for full capacity. That's according to ESPN, which reports the decision rests entirely with local leaders. The Broncos play their first home game in late September, so there's plenty of time to make a change.
Somebody came in the middle of the night with the intention specifically of stealing, and they stole from us everything.
A military family has everything stolen from a moving truck when they arrive in Colorado.
Stuff from my career, stuff that I've worked hard to achieve and earn. Military coin collection is gone.
Tonight, how you can help out.
Temperatures made it into the 70s today, even though we had cloudy skies, and we still have showers across the eastern plains. But we're going to be talking about our long holiday forecast, and I'll let you know how much rain we'll see then.
And coming up later, chefs are coming together to help stop anti-Asian hate.
We are young Asian Americans, and we're not our parents. We are here with voices. We have something to say,